Yo, what up? It is the 13th of February 2024 and it's currently 2:44 p.m. on a Tuesday. And like I promised, I'm going to start today going to the very top of the village and waiting to see if Gulliver shows up. Because I really don't want to miss Gulliver showing up. So I believe Gulliver shows up at specific... Oh, two weeds right next to each other. Gulliver shows up at specific minute marks, just like how presents do, but it's different. I think it's... I want to say it's 3s and 7s. So basically, he should show up at the closest or nearest time. Let me just see. I really should have this page on speed dial at this point. Two or a 7. Okay, so it hasn't been a 2 or a 7 yet. So I'm gonna wait till it's a 7, and then I'm gonna assume at any time of the day. Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna assume that if he doesn't show up at the earliest possible time, then he isn't showing up at all. I'm assuming that that's how it works. He's just gonna show up as soon as possible. Let's have a look. I know it's not very fun to just wait around, but it's only for a little bit. I'm almost there. Yeah, because Gulliver is probably one of the most important visitors, or at least he's one of the hardest. He's one of the most elusive because it's very easy to just completely miss him and not get him at all, which is really annoying. I mean, I'm surprised I even ever got to get Pete early in the year at all. Okay, it's 2:47, so let's wait and see if it... I guess I might as well do a top view instead. And I mean, give or take around 30 seconds, right? Like for him to cross the entire town. So I've got the feeling that that's a no. Alright. That's going to be it for today's Gulliver check. Now, hello Daisy. Probably a better solution would be going straight to the town gate and seeing if there's a visitor, because he won't show up if there's already another visitor in town. You have to help me because I've got a real dilemma for you. See, I'm having a tough time cooking spaghetti. I need answers. Do you know how long I should cook my spaghetti to get it al dente? Spaghetti doesn't take long to cook. I'd say 9 minutes. That sounds delightful. I mean, it just sounds fine. It's good to know how you like your food cooked. I don't know why you're talking about cooking food outside. Faithful customers, if you've ever wanted the Black King, now's your chance. Let's have a look if I ever have wanted the Black King. I have ever wanted the Black King, as a matter of fact. At some point, perhaps even right now, probably, at this very moment, I've wanted the Black King. I will be going to get that today. It's weird how certain items that are spotlight items are part of sets. Like, I find it weird that the chess set of items is almost all regular Nook items, except the Black King is for some reason a spotlight item. And so is the White Queen. I guess that's weird. Hey, Peewee. What the heck do you want anyway? I can tell you're not doing anything important. You gotta do me a favor. Take this to Daisy for me. It usually takes about 30 minutes for me to change my mind. Right, well, that should be relatively easy given that Daisy is about, give or take, 1 second away. I got a delivery for you. Oh cool, is this a present from Peewee? Yeah, this is express shipping. Spacesuit. I didn't know they made this kind of thing anymore. Why would Peewee want me to wear something like this? Oh no, I'm not complaining, not me. Yeah, so thanks very much. Please give my best to Peewee. Poor Daisy's trying to be nice, but hates the spacesuit. Peewee's not having much luck with gift giving lately. He tried giving to, was it Friga, Victoria? He gave to, he got me to give a gift to someone. I think it was Friga, and she also hated it. I'll say that it was alright. My gift was a dud. I can't even begin to understand that. I guess that's what I get for giving something decent for a tasteless yokel. Oh, I guess that means I've got to say thanks to you. Here, let me give you 530 bells. Thanks. You're a big giant help. Thanks a load. No problem. I live to serve and all that jazz. It's nice, like I said yesterday, to be playing during the day again. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. And I did get to check... Oh no, Friga's sick. Alright, I mean, there's not really much point talking to her. I already know what she's gonna say. It's probably gonna be about her being sick. So let's, get medicine while I'm at Nook's. Oh, hey, Hugh. She's about to check in your house. Oh, no, that's Hugh's house. I always mix those up. Hey, your house is so big now. It's pretty posh. So many rooms. Everyone in town could live there. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Oh no, Cube. We've talked about this. You're never allowed to move. If any village is never allowed to move, it's definitely Cube, Hugh, Peewee, and Marina. You're moving. You're not moving. I wasn't expecting that response. Maybe I'll think it over once more. Okay, that... I'm not settling on that. Cube is really important to me, man. It's probably my favorite villager. I just like Penguin. I like Peewee. I mean, I like all of them. Those main four that I just listed are probably my 4 favorite villages. Just in general, by now. Cube also managed to show up in my New Horizons town, like my New Horizons town that I made, just randomly. I didn't even, like, go hunting for him. He just showed up, which was awesome. And I know he's not leaving there anytime soon, because, well, they don't leave on their own. I know I've talked about the fact that, oh, the moving in this game is... You're supposed to let things go, and it's kind of ironic with me constantly keeping people around, but what can I say? I like these villages. I still think it's a pretty realistic punishment to have villagers move away if you don't play for a while. And it is harsh, but that's kind of the point. Why would you say that? Are you trying to tell me something? Maybe I'll stick around a little longer. Okay, that seems a bit more direct. Nintendo Direct. Coming next week. Yeah, maybe. Not expecting anything if there is one. I know people are talking about the Switch 2 and all that, but I mean... I'm assuming it's gonna happen, but I don't know. I mean, how long did the Wii go on for? That was like 6 years. Around 6 to 7 years. And that was their most successful console at the time. And now the Switch is, and that's gone on for about 7 years itself. So it sounds about right. But honestly, if the next console doesn't have, like, full backwards compatibility with the Switch, it'd be a waste. Like a pretty big waste. Oh, there's a flower here. But like, they spent so long having the, like, Switch Online services built up with all of the NES, SNES games and all that. If that all reset back and we had to get that slow burn of all that stuff all over again, it'd be so annoying. Looks like you and I might be in sort of competition. Yeah, that would be really obnoxious. Because, I mean, that's the same thing that happened between the Wii U and the Switch, that, like, they have this method of releasing virtual console stuff where it's all, like, a slow burn over the course of, like, months to release pretty essential games. And it's really, like, annoying. I don't know. It doesn't really have much value, like, to do that. My main guess is that it's meant to keep people, like, interested in the service by making sure it gets updated so they don't, like, tempt people to unsubscribe. They want to keep people interested. Because if they had everything, I guess it would be, like, I don't know, not appealing. I don't know. I feel like it'd be, like, way more valuable if from the very beginning it had, like, every possible game on it. I mean, at the very least, I think every Nintendo-published game that has no copyright, like, issues, like a Rare game or something, should all be on the Switch Online service by now. Like, the Game Boy one doesn't... You want a classic chair? Sure. Like, the Game Boy service doesn't have Super Mario Land. Like, regular old Super Mario Land. It's just like, why? Why is, of all games, like, probably the most popular Game Boy game is not on there? Not to mention the fact that they still haven't done Pokemon on there, which I think they could still get to work if they did a couple tweaks and then maybe added some connectivity to, potentially to Pokemon Stadium and, like, Pokemon Home. I think they could do that. And especially because the 3DS is going out, and that's the only way to play. So, right now the 3DS, because, Pokemon, if you don't know, had, so they had Gen 1 and Gen 2, and both of those were on Game Boy. And now you could, go between those games, or it was Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Game Boy and Game Boy Color both used link cables, the same type of link cable, and they could connect to each other easily. But when they made Gen 3, it was on the Game Boy Advance, and the way they had stored Pokemon data changed, which has now stayed pretty consistent, like, from then until all the way up to now. And that change was different from the way they did it back in the Game Boy games, which meant you couldn't transfer Pokemon from those first two generations past Generation 2. So catching the dab is the new craze. You should catch some totally hulked out dab. Okay. Oh. I guess we got a fishing competition. But anyway. So, yeah, basically, that meant that every Pokemon that you had caught that was from Generations 1 or 2 was stuck on Generations 1 and 2. But that changed when they introduced Virtual Console for Red, Blue, Yellow, and then Gold, Silver, and Crystal, because they made it so that those Pokemon could then be transferred up to Pokemon Transfer and then put into Pokemon Bank, which now can be put into Pokemon Home. Hello out there. I hope someone cool reads this letter, and I hope I get a response. Just some guy. Bye-bye. So yeah. They made it so, basically, that they made it possible to bring Game Boy game Pokemon into modern-day Pokemon for the first time ever with 3DS Virtual Console. Now, as has been... As has been recently announced, or, like, coming up, is in April 2024 they're suspending the online services for the 3DS and Wii U, which I'm pretty sure Pokemon Bank is going further than that, but if Pokemon Bank eventually closes, we'll be back to having no way to get those Game Boy game Pokemon up. And, hell, I mean, we're not going to have any way to get any old Pokemon up at that point, if you don't have those services. But yeah, so having those games on the Switch Online would be cool, and I wonder why they wouldn't do that. I don't know. Like, even if it was, like, they thought it was too valuable to just be like the Game Boy Advance is already on the expansion pack. Like even if they thought that it was too valuable of a deal to just have Pokemon games with the subscription service, which is something they would probably think. I don't know. I'd love to come to dinner, Hugh, but my belly can't take spicy food. It really bums me out too because I love hot stuff. Oh, so you can't handle spicy food, is that it? That must be terrible. The problem, Daisy, is that you haven't built up the proper tolerance. I work at my belly every day, swallowing peppers, chilies, and jalapenos, and even the most pungent of peppers, the cruelest of condiments, the tyrant habanero. Haben, what? What are you talking about? That sounds horrifying. You've never heard of the tyrant habanero? To know him is to fear him. Just one bite can send you into sweaty convulsions of flavor-induced ecstasy, assuming, of course, that you've got your stomach properly trained. So I should probably steer clear from it, huh? Don't worry, I shall take you under my wing. Together we'll train you to master any spice. I like that interaction, that's fun. Yeah, so Pokemon on Nintendo Switch Online, I reckon, they could easily do, especially since obviously that service already relies on online, which means you could probably pretty easily get away with doing trading communication as well. I don't know. I mean, Pokemon Day... When is Pokemon Day? Pokemon Day always happens, and then I forget that Pokemon Day happens. Like, it always just shows up. It's February 27th. Well, you know, like, potentially we might be seeing... Maybe we could see some... I don't know. Pokemon Day, it's the same kind of thing with those Sonic Central things where they just sort of fill like 20 minutes worth of announcements that mostly are stupid and nobody cares about, and then the final couple or like final one thing is something that people actually care about. Like, pretty sure the last Pokemon Day announcements were like Pokemon Masters and Pokemon Cafe Mix, and then also, oh hey look, here's the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, which is probably the only thing you care about in this entire thing. I don't know. I kind of resent the idea of these, like, habitual Nintendo Direct style presentations when they don't actually have that much interesting to show. Which is why I always get confused whenever people complain at a lack of a Nintendo Direct, because, like, wait, hold on. Yeah, whenever people get, like, mad at a lack of a Nintendo Direct, it just means they don't have anything, like, that's worth announcing. Like, why get mad at them because they're not forcing out a like, 30-minute, like, series of things that, like, either don't matter or aren't developed enough yet. Like, I don't blame them at all. They can do whatever the hell they want. So, yeah, like, all the stuff, and especially Direct, I mean... I kind of resent the entire, like, community, perception of Nintendo Directs, especially because basically every single time one happens, everyone just gets mad at it, because apparently none of them are good enough anymore. I got a dab. Oh, wait, it's not a Flounder. God damn it. I got tricked. So, yeah, like, there's, I mean... And here's the thing, like, sure, you can think that a Direct is bad. I don't, like, you know, that's not a problem to me. It's when people are so, like, for one, they act like they, like, you know, have a right to a Direct being, like, this quality when it's really a thing that they're just doing, like, they don't need to do this. Oh, there's a dab. But then it's also, with the Directs, it's always, like... To me, it's always what's not in the Direct. That's the problem everyone seems to have, is the things that they don't show, which, I don't know. To me, if I've got any advice regarding Nintendo Directs, it's that, there's a present up here. It's that, just don't expect anything at all. That's what I do. I literally don't have any expectations going into Directs anymore. And that isn't, like... Because, oh, I'm just, you know, cynical and I don't have any hopes. There's still, like, dream game announcements that I want to see happen, but I don't go into Directs expecting those things. I just might I'd just think, like, that'd be cool if we got an announcement like that. What's in this present? A metronome. I believe I already have a metronome. I need to sell all this junk in my inventory. But yeah, like, if you go into a direct expecting something, then 99% of the time you're probably gonna be surprised. I mean, like... Oh god. Okay, Peewee, I need to put this away because he might give me something. What's it to you? You'll take good care of my picture, right? And don't do anything weird with it or you'll regret it. That's just him reminding me I already have his picture. Yeah, like, the moment you expect something, that... It makes the direct tide around that one singular expectation. And it just gives you, like... And then anything that isn't that specific thing you want just is, like, annoying to you. I'm kind of... I love directs, honestly, though. Like, pretty much, I can, like, recall all of the past directs of the past, like, couple of years, I think have all been great to me. Like, I've loved a lot of those announcements. And most of those things weren't things I particularly cared for. Like, they were, like, just seeing things come out is sometimes cool. Like, the Pac-Man World remake, I thought was cool just to see that, like, series that was pretty niche for the time being, like, acknowledged with a full-on remake. I just thought that was cool. I never played it. I might play it, but I just thought, and that's sort of, you know, like, just interest is what drives, I think, a good direct, is your own perception. What a lot of carbs, you're too fast for your own good. Well, the race doesn't always go to the beefiest dude. Imps have got to win sometimes, too. In return, you get an exquisite wall. Thanks. So yeah, that's my little direct talk. Like, I like that, and that's the other thing, is I think people should be more open to a lot of different franchises. Pretty much, by this point, I've engaged with pretty much every Nintendo franchise on a level that if any of them get some sort of announcement, I will probably be interested in. Let's see what the toner prices are right now. 59. It's gone up a little bit. This morning it was 53. They do not have a good prediction anymore. Yeah, because it's... I don't think Wild World turnips can be predicted that well. But whatever, I'm using this program for the time being, just because I think it's interesting. There we go, get rid of all this junk. And yes, I sold a non-assessed fossil, which is a big no-no. Yeah, so, like, if you, like some Nintendo franchises, I'd suggest looking around some of the other ones. You might end up finding something that you actually like beyond that, and then you can be excited for more things. I mean, I think the best thing you can have from a direct is a feeling of excitement. That's, like, the main thing that it's supposed to do, right? And it's pretty difficult when your expectations are so limited to, like, only a couple of things. Especially when it's stuff that isn't even Nintendo-specific. Like, I've seen people get mad that, like, Hollow Knight's Silk Song doesn't get shown at directs, which is, like, well, why? They don't... That's not even up to Nintendo. That's just like... That's up to, I forget their name. Team Cherry... No, that's... Is it Team Cherry? I think. That's up to them to show something. Lemon umbrella. That's not a yellow umbrella, unfortunately. Yeah, like, I'd be psyched if something new came from Earthbound, F-Zero, Metroid, Animal Crossing, Zelda, Mario, Kirby, Pokemon. Well, okay, Pokemon I'm a bit iffy on right now. I've got a bit of a weird thing going with them. But you get the idea. Like, and I'm not saying, like, oh, you have to love every single thing Nintendo puts out, but more so I'm saying, if you broaden your interests a little bit more by trying to engage in more types of games, then you'll probably enjoy directs a lot more just by default. That's a... Plus, I mean, even if a Nintendo franchise doesn't appeal to you genre-wise, I think it's pretty easy to always appreciate the amount of effort they put into every, like, type of thing they do. Which is the classic difference between, oh, I forgot to buy medicine for Friga. I've completely, sorry, I'm not exactly paying attention right now. But yeah, you know, like, even if there's a difference between liking a game and thinking a game is good, which I think is a pretty good thing to have when approaching. I mean, that's a thing that just applies to anything that you can like or dislike. There's a difference between it being good and it being something that you like. In a similar way, you can very easily like something that you think is that you know isn't actually that good, but you like it anyway for more superfluous reasons. Yeah, so that's I guess, everything I've got to say about Nintendo Directs. So I don't exactly care for. I mean, I have been eagle-eyeing to try and see if one, because I do like seeing the announcements, but I'm not too invested. I mean, and that's I always get weirded out by people begging for new announcements of games when there's so many games that they probably haven't played. Like, old and new, there's just so many games. I don't know how you could get tired of what we have. What, really? Yep. Like, Pikmin, when Pikmin 4 came out, like, 7 years after it was said that it was actually finished, I get that. But I don't feel as bad as I did before. There you go. But yeah, there's, like, so many people that just seem to beg for new games when there's so much already out there. I don't get it personally. Like, I have enough. Like, if literally 0 games came out from, like, starting right now, personally, I would be, like, I wouldn't say I'd be in heaven, but I would definitely, give me a good excuse to catch up on a lot of different things that I've never played before. I think it'd be great. I've always wanted to break out a little bit from the little Nintendo bubble that I've been in for most of my life. Go for a cup of Java to pick you up, it's 200 bells. What blend would you like? Coo. I've got the specialized blend today, but it turned out a little differently. Whatever you say. Care for a little pigeon milk to put in it? Yeah, no! You like a black. Cuckoo. I like picking that option sometimes just because it's different. There we go, the perfect temperature to bring out the flavor. 176 degrees. One fresh brewed cup. Drink up. Thank you. Hot, hot, hot! Oh, what a flavor, what a feeling. But who knew coffee could get this hot? Thanks. Right, that's gonna be it for today. Not much going on today, but happens sometimes.